All right, guys, welcome back once again here now to the IEM Katowice qualifiers for the upcoming event. We've got our final European match that we're going to be showing on the main stream today. We will be switching over to the North American match for the noon Pacific time slot / 21 CET, if I remember the time correctly. But this is it. This is the clash now of the two previously legendary French rosters. And, well, now we have one super team, quote-unquote, yet to be seen, of course, going up against the new EnVyUs roster. We'll see how this does fare out. It'll be a best of 3. Map vetoes and whatnot have already been determined, and it is going to be Dust2 for our first map to start this one off. Following maps, actually just pulling this up for myself now because I didn't get to see this yet. We're going to be heading over to Train for our second one, and if we do need to go on to a third and final map, it is going to be over on Cobblestone. The picks itself, this first pick coming in as the one from EnVyUs. Second pick on Train was G2's, and obviously the third one is just the leftover after the vetoes and whatnot. So it is time to get into it. Let's take a look and see what G2 have to offer us coming off of their T side. First off, EnVyUs will start on the CT side, so let's get into it. And immediately G2 as well, sending most of their players up through Cat, leading into an A spike. RPK waiting over here, back by the car position. He's just going to be hanging out for the most part. Again, they do the run boost over top, but it's a run boost into his own deck as RPK just destroys body early on here. NBK with a trade, but Sixer tapping from the back end of this one too. And Apex coming in, actually almost loses himself there, but he's going to be able to get himself out into the open here. Takes down Happy before he can go any further. This is left to a 2v3 as XMS and Scream both are going to run their way back over here onto the Cat position and try to retake this from here, but immediately Kenny destroys Scream. He's got the one taps in this situation, and now it's just XMS left alive. One for him, looking for a few more, but he is stuck in this corner, so there's nowhere else to go currently. He's sitting back there. Shock's just hanging out right now behind the box, wasting as much time as possible. Gonna force XMS to get close up, and that's where Shock is gonna shut things down. G2 claim the pistol here, and they're gonna be able to push things forward. And off of that now, EnVyUs, of course, will just go into the second round force buy that we have come to expect. G2 getting the edge here. So SMGs and whatnot for them to be going, and everything fairly standard as far as this is concerned. But G2, well, things didn't start off well initially with that run boost, but they weren't able to recover when push came to shove with the actual site play, and they were able to bring things back pretty nicely from there and close it, I think, with 2 left alive at the end of the day. Now G2, of course, spreading their wings a bit more and playing things into the default lineup early on here, and not going to be pressing themselves towards either side, or really, no one pushing into the tunnels early on, no one pushing out towards the long doors. They're just going to be hanging back and waiting to see if EnVyUs try to do anything cheeky here or aggressive that they may be able to punish, and then eventually, once the timer gets on low enough, probably group up towards mid, and the options are open from that point forward. But we've got the more common occurrences being the mid to B split, and then of course the usual Cat play from there. But we kind of just have to sit back and wait to see right now. So for the time being, again, no one else from EnVyUs taking any risks here. You have Happy sitting close up to the door. He's going to be peeking in really just for intel, though, as he tries to pop in there. He loses a teammate in the backside sitting behind him to double play this. NBK is going to grab that frag on a Scream, and well, Happy will remain somewhat safe for now. Still sitting at 28 HP, of course, so not entirely in a great position here. But when he does finally try to peek, and he's just destroyed by Apex, they bring him down to 2 HP after that one. But now they're going to group up, and since they've killed 2 in the general vicinity of mid, B is going to be the correct position to try to play this towards. XMS is the last one here with a Deagle. It's dinged on the cross, but it's only for like 9 HP. He's down to 91 now. Hunting for NBK as he knows he's sitting on the back platform there, but he also has to be a bit more cautious to wait for teammates to try to assist him here. And actually, they're not even going to try it. Just gives up. Attempts to fall back through the mid doors here to save, but Shox has been sitting there on the CT side of the Xbox, and he just decided to wait this one out here. He'll be rewarded with the extra kill, dropping the gun there. Sixer and RPK completely detached from all this action. They're going to be saving, thankfully. Unless Sixer maybe found that with the path of their exits, but RPK should be pretty safe here, as they're just looking to take these guns into the third round. G2, unfortunately, outclassed them with the slow play, and they're going to have a much easier time of just pushing through this one to get the 2-0 start. But now for EnVyUs here. Again, I doubt we'll see any more further investment, as they do have to go on to what I've just started calling the trash round, since you don't generally expect too much with the saved guns. Maybe we'll see a little bit more firepower coming in. from them to find a couple trades here and there against G2. But ultimately, this is the one where they should have a fairly easy time of pushing it over and being able to go 3-0 to start things off. Kenny, though, he spotted the players jumping across the mid doors here. And Body, along with Apex, now are going to try to push their way in. They've got the first kill. Body did get dinked a little bit, so he's kind of nervously tapping away at the doors to make sure he doesn't get killed. NBK, though, with the taps from medium range there, is going to be able to take down Scream. Attempts to go for another one back by CT, but it's actually Apex sitting over there that is just going to try to crunch this one. And there you go again. It's the same exact situation that we had in the previous round here. They're going to be in full control of things, and there is absolutely nothing that Sixer, Happy, and RPK can do. NBK is second-guessing himself there as to whether he actually spotted Happy or not. He'll get dinked, but they know for a fact that they're not going to attempt to retake this one. RPK hanging out. He gets one. He's lining up the second one against Kenny, and he's going to be able to get it. But before he can go any further, Shox is going to take him down. 2 kills again. It's actually not too bad in the grand scheme of things here. Keeping the money a little bit more under control, as it's going to be 2 players, specifically Kenny having to completely buy out here. Apex is going to be left with about 3K after the buy, but the others are sitting very, very cool at 7 to 9K each. So they've had a good start for themselves. And now Envy, unfortunately after the pistol loss, still having to recover their economy, but it's time for the gun round, and we'll see what they truly have to offer us on their CT side now. And it's fast again from G2 into the upper tunnels here, with no follow-up into a site just yet. Most of them are actually going to move downstairs here into the mid doors in that staging area there that we often see them group up towards. Where exactly this play is going to lead towards is yet to be seen, but from the current formulation of players, very, very likely to go into a mid to B, as they are not actually wasting any time at all. Minute 20 still on the clock, but they're already going out through mid to potentially start this play here. Happy's waiting for them, and he's gotten 2 back by CT over there. That's Apex and NBK. Scream chimes in for the third. That essentially kills it. The only benefit they have going for them is that they drew the players out of the B bomb site. So Body has the wall line up here against these guys to stop them from moving back in. Lines it up with the UMP, and while maybe there is something to be recovered yet, unfortunately, the entire force of EnVyUs has rotated in here for the retake. So they're going to be sitting, and we see Body trying to leap back over, but all he accomplishes is throwing the bomb outside of the doorway. RPK is soon going to be wrapping around against Kenny here. He tries to make something happen. Happy, like I wanted to go for the dirty knife at the end there, but RPK stops it from getting too crazy. It is going to be EnVyUs that claimed that first gun round, and now they are up on the board here. 1-3 to start us off, but with G2 having the extra cash, we are going to see another gun round from them before they also are put onto their own first eco. Going to be G2 again. Same thing as pretty much every round previous to this one, leading directly into the upper tunnels with a 4-man stack and keeping Kenny in suicide right now, watching out for a push. The rest of EnVyUs, again, in a 2-1-2 split, everything fairly standard being played by them, too. There is a very, very light amount of presence on Cat right now, but there's the conflict right outside the tunnels, and it works out perfectly for G2. They get XMS and Scream both wide peeking into the tunnels. Happy, he's just going to go for this one, too, swinging in. He's not even going to be able to get one. Can't find the frag onto Body, so he gets taken down. That's it. Again, the round's over. It's just like these anti-ecos all over, or just like these ecos, like I should say, all over again for EnVyUs here. Sixer and RPK, they have nothing left to do, so they have to fall back and save as G2 brute force their way onto the site, and EnVyUs obliged to that one. They peek into these angles, and Happy just swings inside. So he'll find himself dead very quickly, and G2 will get themselves another easy round off of that one. They go 4-1. That'll reset the losing bonus for EnVyUs here. And pretty much at this point, anyway, everyone on G2 is going to be staying alive, so this is not what EnVyUs want to start off this match here. At the very least, I don't actually think that they'll move in to hunt down the kills. You've got Apex pecking at the edges of the long river. Now, they definitely know that they're in long in some form, but it is just a little bit too risky to go out there, as more than like you're still going to end up losing your guys in that situation 9 times out of 10. So they move away from that one. They will be able to save their guns, so they have that going for them, but they don't even really have the cash flow to be able to drop like rifles and whatnot for them. We can see it. It's just pistols being tossed over to the remaining members of EnVyUs there. So these are the only guns that they'll have to work with in this one, and it's G2 that, well, they didn't even really have to use all that much, to be completely honest, to win that previous round, so they're not really going to be buying anything at all. XMS, well, he'll be challenged almost immediately as they're going to rush out with a nice little one-tap from XMS. He's going to take down Body with a pistol. Apex actually having a bit of trouble dispatching of him, but it does work out. The problem is, though, is that no one else is peeking out from the tunnels yet, so Scream, he's allowed to flood back in. He's going to be able to steal a kill. There's NBK. Once again, they're taking down Scream more, trying to push back in. Happy, unloading an entire clip. He finally does get one on his Shox, but NBK able to hold strong on the backside here. Takes down Happy and RPK, and this goes to a 1v2 now, as Sixer holds a position in window. Oh, boy. It looked like he is going to be able to spot NBK and take him down, but no, NBK finds the headshot and sends his opponent flying back, as it's a big round from him. The 4K, and G2 swing ahead yet again 5-1 now. So it is going to be EnVyUs back down onto another eco and just playing it to the sights primarily, completely avoiding middle for right now. They're going to go for aggressive play over here on Cat, and it's actually working out to a certain degree. Unfortunately, Sixer is disconnected from a lot of this action right now. So, oh my god, Sixer destroys Shocks and gets the instant headshot connection onto Kenny, and that's the bomb going down too. Apex, he's isolated in mid. He's got a headshot angle, however, so he's able to spin back around. Scream finally puts an end to it, and this will go down to a 1v1. Body has the position in CT spawn. He's going to try to wrap back around to be able to retrieve the bomb with that, but Scream also upgrading himself here too to pick up an AK to work with. He'll shift over and try to see if he can find Body, but he's got to be careful. His Body is slowly working on the flank as he puts himself on the Xbox, jumping up to keep himself quiet, and he's got a perfect lineup right now. Scream is not checking his flank at all, and in just a moment here, Body will turn the corner and have the free kill onto Scream. Scream, you gotta check behind it, and he does so, but it's not quick enough. Body is able to win it out, and it still remains the round score for G2, 6-1, as they continue to push ahead. And just look at the money now. 13, it was almost max money for NBK at the beginning of this round. Kenny was sitting at 9K. It's a lot of rebuys, so a lot of this money is going to deteriorate back down, but still, it's being controlled by the T's, and at this point, they are the driving force behind this one. And once again, it is going to be G2 that push into just the upper tunnels. We've already seen this before. We've already seen this 3 or 4 different times from G2. It has so far been their go-to here for Dust2. They'll shift back down into mid from this point and try to play things out from there, where we do have, actually in mid specifically, Happy playing a position to try and see if it, most importantly, if he can hear the Cat play come in which he has heard that now, so he's going to shift back, but all of a sudden things aren't so secure anymore as they are playing it back towards mid. He can hear the scope in from Kenny, but can't actually stop the kill from happening, so they are going to push their way in for free. They did leave the bomb outside, so it's a bit awkward in that remark, but still, at this point in time, the bomb is actually of little consequences. Yeah, Kenny moves in, decimates RPK. It's just a DM at this point for G2, as they're just knocking out the guys from EnVyUs one by one. Sixer's the last man standing, very disconnected from the action, however, sitting back in T-spawn, and Kenny may have his chance to hunt them down here in a second. Sixer just gave himself away, so in come the dogs as they go hunting for EnVyUs. Sixer, though, holds for at least one. He'll be able to take down Shocks there, but Kenny and Body are moving up closely here to try and knock him out of the picture, at which point Kenny will succeed in doing so, takes him down, and G2 7-1 now. They continue to push ahead, and a very much so needed pause is going to be called from the EnVyUs roster. Overall, just nothing working out here, unfortunately, for the EnVyUs roster. 9 times out of 10, they're just getting the floor wipe with them, and a lot of this is coming down just to the pure raw entry power from G2. It's astonishing that EnVyUs, you know, on all of these initial 1v1s and all of these initial pushes here, they just continue to get completely outmatched by everything that G2 throws at them. NBK specifically, along with some of the other guys here that have been able to brute force their way in, have been doing a fantastic job. That and some really weird decisions from EnVyUs in a couple of rounds, like we saw I think it was like 2 or 3 rounds ago. That play from Happy, it was actually I think a little bit earlier than that. But that play from Happy just decided to like go through the smoke into the B bomb site when he was alone and his 2 teammates were on A. Like things like that are a little bit weird. So it just seems like EnVyUs don't necessarily have everything together at this point. We're not really seeing anybody shine out of the woodwork at this point, either for EnVyUs. No one's really been able to have a really impressive round, whereas the guys on G2, well, they're styling off here at this point. NBK had that nice 4K round for himself when they went for entries on the B-bomb site. We've been seeing Kenny hit some nice shots here. Everybody's showing up. There's not really a single leader because they've all been doing great at the beginning of this one, so there's just a lot of issues to fix on the EnVyUs side right now. But the pause time has expired, so they're going back into this now, and we'll see what'll be changed up. Obviously, this will be just the eco round for them, so we won't see a lot of the effect of the pause coming in just yet. But the next one should be the gun round, and that's where hopefully we'll see some adaptation and some better play from the EnVyUs roster to maybe make this match a little bit more competitive right now. It'll be, however, again, a bit more split from G2 this time around, as they're sitting it back and playing it for picks early on here, trying to catch if Envy do anything super crazy and aggressive here. Not really the case, though. Again, we haven't really seen them do that much. As Happy is just going to place himself behind the door. He's played in this spot in a lot of the rounds, though, so G2 have to eventually kind of get an idea in terms of the fact that he's going to be camping out in this corner. You could see that they tried to pre-fire into that corner there and find him. But it's not going to connect yet, as everything remains very, very quiet across the field right now. And Happy, again, waiting for his chance to strike, as the rest of G2, they're just broiling on the other edge of that door. In theory, could do massive damage, but the timing is really the key about this one when he goes for the peek, which we expect him to eventually do, if not just fall back into CT spawn. You can hear what noises they are making, and they start to move in there. Apex finds Sixer, and that's the start of things. They're going to start moving quickly on the flank, but RPK cannot hold anything at all on that platform. Happy swings in through the smoke again and finds himself dead on the ground very, very quickly. Body being the one to grab that one, and this is almost already given up upon too. XMS just posted up for an exit now. He's found the AK with that. Scream in the meantime, working with the Deagle, is gonna, I believe, put himself near the Xbox here. No, he's just working with XMS, apologies. So he'll play with his teammate and try to make sure that he doesn't get flanked out as they hunt for a couple more players back over here by the long doors in case they try to move out and flank them. But beyond that, EnVyUs are just moving away to save yet again, since they managed to scavenge that AK, and they're going to hand the round over to G2s. The eco doesn't work out, and they don't really do that much damage either. They only trade out the one kill onto body. So for EnVyUs here, it's really time to shine or just hide away, unfortunately, in the next round if they cannot manage to piece things together. This is getting out of control very quickly. They have the money finally to fully invest in this one, and if they want to, yeah, I was about to say, if they want to go for a double op setup or something crazy like that, they can certainly try to do it. And we have that investment rolling in now. Sixer and XMS actually picking them up this time for the EnVyUs side of things. The Molotov also, I think, is going to be a little bit off the mark for what they were expecting. XMS, it's not a big deal, though, as they actually shied away for the first time in forever. G2 are just going for a direct long play, and look at this now. They're nobody's even looking towards it. They're walking up long for free right now. They've gotten to the cross right now. Dang it. They got to the cross right now, and they're going to work their way across as they move in here. Look at this. They've gotten themselves up, but Happy comes out huge here, moves in, gets a nice 2-kill. And now RPK and his teammate are trying to move back here to prevent Apex from doing the damage. It's NBK from over there as well that gets knocked out by Sixer, so Apex is going to move himself forward, as EnVyUs actually have the rights to move in here for the retake. They're going to push back in, and Apex and Kenny will try to watch out for this. They'll both play on their own angles, though, so this is all Apex right now that is to try and hold this off, as Kenny's attention is drawn entirely towards the long play. He'll be able to quickly rotate towards Cart, though, so not going to be him alone forever. There's one for Kenny. It's a little bit too high on the second shot here, but Apex is doing a great job of distracting him. Apex tags another one down to 23 HP, but XMS, he's put an end to Kenny. Apex, though, again, chiming back in here. He's going to go for the last one. Sixer going to try to toss the smoke back over this one and see if he can use it to get some momentum going. He's tapped onto the bomb. He's trying to look for the kill, but Apex, he's got the angle, and he's going to shut it down. The 3K on the round for him. He'll take him out, and with that, G2 continue to dominate. Look at how loaded they are. 13K, 12K. Obviously, again, some of these guys do have to buy down a bit since they lose quite a few players in the push, but it's so much cash flow to work with, so much going in G2's favor, and EnVyUs just cannot find something that works. Beautifully played again from the G2 side of things. And now the question is, what does EnVyUs do as they do force into this next round here? FAMAS's M4s and whatnot, for what utility they have already used here. You can see that they've been brought down just to these 3 smokes and the single flashbang. Sitting over here on Happy currently. And Scream will position himself just outside of the platform, waiting to see if G2 are going to go back to that tunnel play that they favored so much within the first 5 or 6 rounds, but we've kind of seen them move away from ever since. G2 has such a seems to have a much more varied playbook here as well And this is part of the problem, is that EnVyUs just don't know where G2 are going to strike next. They were doing that tunnel push with a 4-man play and then just brute forcing it in the early couple of rounds here. Okay, EnVyUs replied with one of their own in the midst of that one when they won the first gun round, but then they immediately traded that back out, changing things up. They've been doing long plays, they've been doing cat hits, they've been splitting things up, they've been doing mid to B plays and all that. They are actually, I think we've really seen 1 to 2 mid to B plays, so the options are still open for G2 to try to experiment with that a little bit too if they want to. And EnVyUs have not been able to stop any of it here, so G2 can just continue to change up the strats because everything is working, so they can keep the playbook varied. And we can see RPK at the edge of this Molotov here, but they think he might have fallen back. He's given free reign over that one. A 2-for-1 trade before he finally goes down to Kenny. Sixer, though, gets a free shot onto Apex, and it's not just him either. It's Happy up onto the platform here. Is going to be able to find body. So finally, it seems like the hit from G2 did not go the way they had planned it for the first time almost in this entire map so far. Kenny is going to be forced back into the pit here. He'll look to save the op. Even if he goes down after the timer, this is not really the end of the world, but he will look to save, grabs a shot onto XMS, and actually I think that's it. No one else can get to him in time, so he'll take that into the next round anyway and be able to preserve a bit of money by doing so. It'll be G2 that continue to push forward, and this is back into a little bit more heavier in the tunnel plays, but NBK, okay. Not going the way he had expected it to. Very fast, obviously, out the long doors there, but immediately destroyed by RPK. Shutting him down. As now the rest of them are going to move a little bit actually closer, and you can see this too. EnVyUs now getting a little bit aggressive with Sixer pushing out to the long doors to watch out for a presence here. Happy has been forced back away from the doors themselves, but what he may have not realized is we didn't get to see this a couple moments ago is the fact that Apex has already pushed through this. So he's going to be able to get up close, and maybe Happy may not be expecting that now. Thankfully, he adjusts. He'll get brought down very low to 8 HP. But he still maintains and is able to grab the kill onto Apex. As now G2, they are going to funnel into the tunnels very quickly. But look, here's that long play that we were seeing a few moments ago. Six was able to move in. He spotted them going into the tunnel, so now they can support this. And XMS, he's going to get aggressive. He's sneaking through them right now. But only one player has gone past him. There's another one sitting on the other edge of this. And Kenny, he's able to read into it. He spots XMS from inside of the smoke. Must have peeked out with a foot or something like that. And now it's Scream on the site, but he's got the op in hand. He is going to be able to find body. Peeking out. Kenny misses the flick, and it's up close. But oh, the no-scope from Kenny will take down Happy before being traded out to Scream. It falls to Shocks now to clutch with 30 seconds on the clock. A nice shot onto Scream, but he doesn't realize that Sixer is up close. And as soon as that shot rings out, he'll move up to finish the job. 3-9 will be the scoreline now, as EnVyUs finally finding some consistency here and making this match a little bit more interesting. And it's a good thing, too, as it seemed like they were overall just going to be bowing down to G2. But finally, they found some force to fight back with and maybe bring this one back to best case scenario. Of course, this point going to be 9-6. But G2 are certainly not done fighting it either. They've got a whole bank to try and burn through here, and they're going to smoke out long to get early control here. Apex hitting himself in the pit with the... Oh, okay. The spin around from RPK kills Apex, but Happy getting a little bit trigger happy there. He moves over and thinks his teammate's an opponent and just taps him in the head. You know, you gotta get taps one way or another. Unfortunately, he just finds another teammate this time, and it's Shocks now that catches Scream getting over aggressive. Sixer finds a kill too. He's inside of a smoke though. Doesn't know where he's looking. The flash that moves out is perfect though, but somehow that's not a full kill shot on the body. Hits him in the leg when it doesn't even look like it. NBK and Kenny trading out 2 more kills, and XMS now putting himself into the clutch scenario. He'll have to try and hold back over here by the elevator for the time being. Keep in mind, yeah, he's still got the bomb under his control, but all of this action happened within just the first, half of the round here. So there's still 50 seconds left for the guys on G2 to play with. But I think XMS is actually being pretty proactive about this. We can see him swinging back around here, hunting for Kenny, but in the actual 1v1, it is still going to be Kenny that comes out on top. All right. Some old blood there, maybe. Tension's broiling. Everybody just needs to calm down a bit. As G2 are going to push ahead now. 10-3 again. And unfortunately, EnVyUs, even though they finally, like I said before, they did manage to get a round spree going. It was nowhere near enough to build up an economy. So they're right back down onto an eco here. And we've seen Kenny tag XMS through the door right at the beginning of the round. Body going to swing through. And it's just a shutdown on this round. Happy and RPK are already your last two standing. Happy's able to swing out wide and get the one kill, at least on body. Some damage being done. But RPK is not going to last very long with that long push on its way. The force from EnVyUs will roll in here. And while it will give Sixer an op, it'll be a glass cannon investment for him to work with. Along with 2 downgraded rifles on Happy and XMS and a very, very limited spread of utility here. Flashbang out towards long is perfect. RPK's blind as a bat, doesn't know where to look. Happy's going to take up a position towards elevator, but this is all a ruse since it is being deployed over here towards the B-bomb site. Scream is only able to get 1 kill, so now Sixer is going to try to wrap around the backside here. This actually may come unexpected since this is really quickly flanked, but I think they have smoke deployed still in the tunnel itself. But no, it's actually just expired. But he... What? He missed! And now, oh, he's giving himself away. So Kenny's going to get that one, and while Sixer could have done massive damage, he just whiffs huge. In a huge way, I should say. And that's going to put it to 12-3 now. Very unfortunate for Sixer there. Some of these shots are just unlucky, it seems like, because he also hit that one in the last round where it definitely, at least from the GoTV's perspective, it looks like it's a full kill, but it only ends up being a leg shot. So Sixer just not having a good day right now. And now for Envy. Do they have any hope of actually returning this scoreline back to something competitive here? Or is it just going to be G2 that runs them over on the first map here in Dust? Well, we will find out in just a moment as we are getting into it. The usual investment for the most part here, but they do give Scream the golden gun buy, as he is going to go for the Deagle with armor behind it, tossed over by Sixer. Having armor, and his first peek, his first target is going to be NBK sitting on the other end of this one. He's heard it ring true now, and he knows the play is coming out. Nice tap onto him. Body gets a second. Scream finds his first mark, though, with the Deagle, but they've taken so many losses on the way out here. Body at 78 HP, and he continues to rip them to shreds. Body's in so much, and now it's just Scream. He's got to awkwardly hop around here to try to get the reload, but there you go again. Kenny taking down Scream. It's G2 that win the second pistol and are now just 3 rounds away from taking control of map number 1. And certainly with that pistol, it's going to make it much, much easier. EnVyUs really, since they don't have a choice here without getting the plant, they do have to force into this next one. And that'll involve Scream getting the scout into his hands. Looking for kills on the cross if he can find anyone. Missed the first chance. Misses the second. Doesn't even take the shots. So they are going to fall back. And off of that here, EnVyUs. Well, they actually may get an opportunity here now if Scream keeps himself in that position, but I actually think he may have looked away. No, Happy's going to swing through, but that's right into the clutches of Shocks. As he will be able to take him down. Sixer's trying to pressure out towards long too, but it's not going to work out for him very well. Apex just shuts it down. 3 remaining now for EnVyUs here. As they have gotten partial mid control, you can see RPK having his way out there. XMS, though, is just going to get denied on Cat if he wants to try and push his way back in. And once again, I'm going to mention this, as most people haven't got this yet. These scores are incorrect. This is not that bad of a crushing based on what you're seeing. That's a bug currently with the server provider. But EnVyUs, unfortunately, just not really finding anything that works for them. They keep trying to apply this mid pressure, but every time they peek, it's just more damage onto them. And NBK sneaking in against RPK, gets tagged by the scout, but still eventually drop back down. It's just going to be XMS now. 1v5. Let's see what he can do. Yeah, not much. So Kenny's going to take him down pretty quickly, and there we go. G2 continuing forward. A team ace across the board as well there for G2 that time around, surviving with everyone alive at the end of the round. Pretty much everything going swimmingly for G2 here. Nothing being dropped, everybody getting a kill, and for EnVyUs here, they have to go, well, they have to force again, essentially, because they're so far behind, but even the force here, it's going to be 3 Deagles, 2 P250s, they've got 3 smokes for some sort of deployment. But we will find out in a moment if they can do anything with this arsenal. We've already spotted Happy in the long push there. He gets some sort of intel out of that. And they're going to flood out towards mid, actually. So it's going to be Shox and Kenny up to bat first. Shox gets destroyed by Scream. So a 1-for-1 trade initially gives EnVyUs some breathing room to work with here. And Happy as well, hanging out on the backside here, is going to move in. Kenny spot Apex in time. Unfortunately, no. Apex is going to get another advantage for his team on G2 here. And he knows for a fact now, he should know anyway, that long is going to be cleared out. It's Kenny that actually gets hit by a flashbang, so he's not able to stop LS initially. He's going to throw the HG grenade in there. So XMS is able to line up the Eagle shot against Kenny, so he does take him down. But not before XMS got dinged. Sixer's down to 22. Body moves in and finds Sixer there. But this is still even. This is down to a 2v2. And Scream, while he spotted Apex, got to line up the headshot now. 50 of the damage gone, and a second one there. And this is great, isn't it? Body now going to try to clutch this one back out. He'll move in. He'll find the first kill. And he's edged out XMS as well. Catches him over the top of the box there as he does peek it. And that'll be the ultimate mistake. Bombs, what are you doing there? Spin botting, clearly. As Body's going to be able to close out that one. And G2 will get themselves up to map point now. The investment from EnVyUs is going to get a little bit better this time at the very least, since they did get the plant, so they get that bonus cash because of it. But hopes are not looking high. I won't reveal my reasons, but I'm not feeling too confident. We'll see, though, what the guys from EnVyUs do try to deploy towards, as they are more than likely just going to end up grouping up in mid here again, as it seems to be the common case. Unfortunately, not really being given a chance to see what exactly EnVyUs' T-side does hold here, but they move towards it, working their way up onto Cat very quickly, and it seems like they're going to try to go for this one, but Kenny's already spotted it. The Molotov is going to waste about 20 seconds or so, and look at this, is allowed for the long players to flood back too. So if EnVyUs go for this, this is going to be a slaughter. Shox is here, Kenny's here. Apex is in a position to rotate back towards Car and help out with the M4 if he really needs to as well. But the rest of EnVyUs, well, they're sitting here and they're prepared for go for it. But look at Kenny. He's sitting up in front. He's going to move in there, finds XMS, falling back to Flashbang, stops them from getting the trade kill onto Kenny. RPK does end up finding Shox, but here's Kenny once again. A second kill for him. He goes in. He's going to be able to get another one. Apex chiming in for it. It's down to Happy now. I don't know why Auto Director goes to third person. Apex is going to shut down Happy, and that'll close it out. G2 decimate EnVyUs on map number 1. And they will hold a huge advantage heading into map number 2. That map, guys, will be coming up in just a few moments here. It's going to be Train, and it's going to be the map pick for G2. That was EnVyUs' map pick, and obviously things did not go their way. So we'll have to see if they can do any better on Train. We'll find out in just a little bit, guys. So stick around for more action right here from the IEM Katowice qualifiers.